Fellow classmates, families, teachers, administrators, and special guests. I know that most of you don't know me, and I don't know most of you. I know that some of you might not care or might not like what I have to say. However, I know I have a funny accent, so at least try to enjoy listening to my words. I struggled trying to figure out what to tell you all because I was looking for something meaningful that could actually have a positive impact in your life as well as in the world. Therefore, this speech will not be full of cliches one would hear at a graduation speech. Well, maybe just one or two. First of all, I want to thank God for everything that He's done for me. He's the reason for my success and all my blessings. Without Him, I would be no one. I also want to thank my parents who have suffered and cried so much for me to pursue my future in the United States. To them, I want to say that I love them and that I appreciate their sacrifice, which has paid off. I will be going, as Mr. Reeves mentioned, to the University of California, Berkeley, which is not only the number one best public university in the world, but also has the second best chemical engineering program in the world, only behind MIT. And where I'm proud to be one of the 13 people from Riverside County that got accepted to the College of Chemistry. Moreover, I also received the Gates Millennium Scholarship, which means that I will never have to pay anything for my education. Mom, Dad, I know that I've told you many times, but I hope that you know that I appreciate your sacrifice and that I love you. I also want to thank all my friends for making high school a fun time. I want to thank my friends in the tennis team, including my coaches, who I would like to remind that Pluto is not a planet. I definitely hit a winner by being able to be in such an amazing team. Only the tennis team gets that. It's okay. I want to specifically thank, in no specific order, Armando, Yanel, Dexy, and Claude. They've been my best friends throughout high school. They know they can count on me as I can count on them. And last but not least, I want to thank all my teachers and administrators that have helped me anytime that I needed help or assistance. You, my educators, are also responsible for my success because you have provided me with the preparation to succeed in higher education. I especially want to thank Mr. Cottrell, Ms. Sprinkle, Ms. McDonald, Mr. Rojas, and Mr. Maxwell. Now, it is time for the message that I want to give y'all. I want to start by inviting y'all to become scientifically literate, regardless of your life plan, because being scientifically literate will allow you to understand the issues and events going on around the world, as well as in your own daily lives. This will not only make your life better, but it will also make you a better citizen and person. Advancements in science and technology are the key for a better future, and one must be able to participate or at least understand what's going on. Now, what I'm really here to talk about. I'm sure that many of you have heard something about climate change. However, I don't know how much you know about the severity of the issue or how much you know in general. But don't worry, I'm not going to give you a lecture on climate change, but I sure hope to enlighten you with a life-changing message. Since the Industrial Revolution, we, humans, have released more than 1 quadrillion tons of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. To put it in perspective, there is no more than $1 trillion in the world, ever. Carbon dioxide along with methane account for most of all the human-released greenhouse gases that not only deplete our ozone layer, but also make the global temperature rise. The oceans are also gravely affected because they absorb a lot of carbon dioxide that we release. This causes the oceans to become more acidic and thus hostile for life, especially life forms that have skeletons. In the last 100 years, our oceans have acidified more than 30% on average. In addition, marine species have been depleted 90% on average. At this rate, we won't have seafood by 2048, and we won't see coral reefs in 20 to 50 years. The ocean is so important for all life on Earth that all previous mass extinctions can be directly related to ocean acidification. And in fact, corals always started dying first, as they are now. Moreover, phytoplankton, organisms that have produced around 50% of all the oxygen that we breathe, have decreased over 40%. Tropical forests are also important to maintaining the balance of ecosystems as well as the balance of humanity. Even though they produce about 30% of our oxygen, we have lost 75% of the world's forests through deforestation, for urbanization, or the extraction of fossil fuels. For example, Madagascar has lost over 80% of its forests due to deforestation. This nation has recently been affected by historically strong cyclones as well as the loss of harvests. Coincidence? I'll let you decide. Even though many factors are to blame for anthropogenic climate change, the destruction of ecosystems, and pollution, the coal, oil, and gas industries are the ones that carry most of the blame. When you look at several US laws regarding conservation, these corporations are breaking a lot of them. The coal, oil, and gas corporations are corrupt, illegal enterprises who also corrupt politicians. These industries have a special interest that they put above everything else. But sadly enough, 44% of the US energy comes from coal power. We can see the detrimental effects of our dependency in fossil fuels in catastrophes like the recent oil spill in the coast of Santa Barbara, which made the beach oil black and made officials declare a state of emergency. In addition, corporations like the tar sands in Canada use 5 barrels of water to extract 1 barrel of oil from rock. We're depleting the fresh water supply, which we need to survive. We are exhausting the capacity of the planet to provide for us, and we can see the effects of this with our own eyes. Grasslands are turning into deserts, glaciers are melting to record-breaking points, oceans are warming and acidifying, the storms are happening more frequently and more aggressively. High and low record-breaking temperatures are being observed every year. Here in California, we're running out of water. We're in a severe drought that might become a mega drought, making it worse than the historically awful Dust Bowl. We have a finite planet with limited resources, which we are destroying, regardless of being the only one we have. In fact, if we continue at this current rate of destruction, about 2/3 of the world's species could be extinct by the end of this century, including us. We don't just have a carbon problem, but a human problem. Politicians have to do their job, and we have to change how we are as consumers and citizens. We have known the solution to stop climate change and all of its detrimental effects for a long time, but we have not done anything about it. Apparently, it is very difficult for global powers to agree in international conferences to implement measures to stop it. Even though we could solve all these problems at a fraction of the US gross domestic product, for some reason we have not done anything. So the question is, since logic and reason have not done it, what does it take? What type of calamity has to happen for us, humanity, to take action? But another question follows. Would it be too late by then? Time is running out. We have to take action. This is a matter of life and death, a matter of our survival as a species. If we don't do anything, we will continue to ride on the apocalyptic path that we're on. But we can change the world entirely for good in our lifetime. Steve Jobs once said, "The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do." I mentioned this quote because I want to call on y'all to do just this. Be crazy enough to not only change the world, but to help save it. Yes, we are part of the problem, but we're also part of the solution. We need to change our mindset and start a revolution. Democracy calls. We have to recover our sovereignty from the corrupt corporations that are running the world. We have to acknowledge that Mother Nature must have legal rights above corporations. Corrupt politicians and corporations are condemning people to death, and I say that the authorities don't have the authority to ruin the present of some today and the future of many tomorrow. Talking without any action won't solve anything. The world's politicians don't do anything because it's not their future, but ours, the youth's, which is at jeopardy. We have to force politicians to do something, because even though we know the solutions to all these problems, only they can implement them. Educate yourself and inform your family, friends, neighbors, and the world. We have the power to elect better officials. When we buy a product, we have the power to choose from a sustainable source if affordable. If we work together and understand the issues confronting us, we can make a huge difference. The revolution has begun. Now you're a part of it. We have to fight for life. We have to fight for the rights of Mother Earth. We have to hold ourselves, our community, and everyone responsible. We're all in this together. If we don't take action, a catastrophe awaits. So, don't stay calm. Everything is not fine. Stand up and do something. And like a kid in a documentary I saw said, protest, go make a riot or something. And how Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson said, there are no other issues until the issue of climate change is solved. Thank you and God bless you. May He always be with us, guiding us through what we call our lives.